Mike and Tom are registered with Stewart Partners Global Advisory LLC.
Common Sense Finance with Mike Wiginton and Tom Farrell of HL Wiginton Capital Management, an independent investment and financial planning firm in downtown Jasper. Mike is a chartered financial analyst charter holder, and Tom is a certified financial planner professional. They are here to discuss and give their thoughts on current financial and economic matters. Now, with Common Sense Finance, here are Mike and Tom.
Hey everybody, this is Mike Wiginton and Tom Farrell, and you probably noticed that we've gone on a new path, and we've taken our what was a physical newsletter, and then we moved to a blog, and we're trying to put this together in a new format with a video podcast, and we hope it's certainly it's new. We hope it's an improved version, and we're looking for comments and thoughts, comments, and suggestions from you. So if you see our email addresses scroll along the bottom of the screen, please feel free to give us some feedback. Today we're going to be talking about a question that comes up an awful lot, especially in the financial planning process, and that's how to plan, how to save for college costs. Okay, and so Tom, I know that's a question that you get have put to you an awful lot by clients. And what are your thoughts? What are your recommendations to those variety of folks that are trying to save for college?
Well, I do get that question a lot, as I'm sure you do, and you know, everybody thinks I'm saving for college. I need to open a 529 plan. You know, most people are familiar with those. And certainly those are not bad vehicles to save for college. But I have to look at the situation, and there's really three different situations we deal with most of the time as far as the financial situation of the family that's looking to save. The first one is maybe a younger couple. They don't have a lot of disposable income, and they want to start by saving for their kids' education. They don't have any retirement accounts. They don't have money put back for retirement. So for those folks, I usually recommend, hey, let's go ahead and start a Roth IRA. Let's go ahead and start funding that because it can be a dual purpose account for you. The Roth can obviously is a retirement vehicle, but can also be used for college education expenses. A lot of people may or may not know this, but the contributions you make into a Roth, you can take out without a penalty. And if it's for college, even the gains you may have in a Roth, you can take those out without a penalty as well. You may have to pay some taxes on the gains, right, but the contributions come out penalty and tax free. So that's a huge advantage. It kind of serves a dual purpose to get those folks in that situation to start saving some money. And it also starts building some retirement funds as well.
And you're really adamant about not forsaking your retirement investments. You're saving for retirement, so just so you can save for college.
Right. And the hope is they start funding the Roth and eventually get to the point where they're maxing it out every year, so $6,000 per spouse that goes in there, and then they start to have some extra income as they get older and their earnings increase. And then they can start putting some money into a 529 type plan. So that's the first scenario. The second scenario is, hey, maybe it's a couple that's they have some resources. They've started saving for retirement. Maybe they have a 401k at work. Maybe they have an IRA and they're doing a good job of contributing to those. Those folks, a 529 plan probably does make sense to start funding that if they haven't already. You get a state tax deduction. You're able to, your parents, grandparents are able to make contributions into that for the kids' college expenses. So that's another scenario where we would recommend, hey, let's look at funding a 529 plan if you've already got your retirement savings taken care of. Right. Yeah, if you've got the base level, you're contributing a good amount to your 401k, and maybe you already have a Roth or a traditional IRA. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And then the last scenario, and we run across this a good bit too, is maybe they're in good shape with their retirement plans. They've already started a 529 plan. Hey, just a regular old brokerage account, or maybe even a savings account, whatever their situation is, go ahead and start putting money in that brokerage account, because it's always good to have more than one source or account to pull from when you're paying for a child's education.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I like most about your approach, is that multifaceted approach, because when we start trying to trying to foretell what's going to happen that many years out in the future. Things rarely go as planned, and
It gets
and it's
tough
good. Yeah, and
after like the next 10 minutes. It's hard to predict what's going on.
It's hard for 10 minutes with you, right?
That's exactly.
But for sure, having monies that we can get our hands on that are free of penalties, taxes, that are
Right.
just no restrictions. That's an important thing, and I know that I wouldn't say you totally disagree with me on it, but you just about I like real estate, right? And I think real estate could be an important great component or investment class for college. And that is buying the home that your child is living in and buying a home with extra rooms to rent out so that you've got that income and you've got tenants paying your dormitory expense. I know for me with two kids in public college, for an entire school year, my dormitory fees would be over $20,000 a year, right? And I'm not paying that. We own a 4-bedroom house, and we've got an appreciation on top of the fact that I've got the rental income that's paying my own kids' living expenses.
Right.
The room and board. So you would say, well, that's not right for everybody. Very well may be. Some people may not have the appetite to take that on, but I would suggest you at least have a conversation, walk through the thinking exercise about that, right? But if you choose to go that route, right, it could be that the bank or your lender would consider that investment property, so the terms are a little bit different, so you would need some taxable money to make the down payment.
Right.
And I would tell most people too, leverage is where the return is. So borrowed money is where the return is in real estate, so don't shy away from that. That's part of the thinking exercise.
Well, especially in today's interest rate environment.
That's exactly right. So that's another outlet for planning for college expenses that I think clients, investors shouldn't overlook at all.
Yeah, and I think folks need to be careful about thinking that there's only one way to do things. I run across people from time to time. I've had several of these that have, I guess for lack of a better term, overfunded their 529 plan. So they've socked away a lot of money, and good for them. They had nice investment performance, but now they're going to have more than enough in there to pay for their kids' education. So they're like, hey, what do I do? Well, if you take it out and you don't use it for the beneficiary's education, you're going to pay a penalty on that. So they're either going to end up paying a penalty or having to give that money basically to another relative, a niece or nephew or something. So those are some things you can run into. So it's always good to have a couple different funding sources for college. Gives you more flexibility. In our case, we're using our 529 plan that we started when our kids were young, and we're paying the tuition and fees with that, and then we're paying for the rest of it out of other accounts. So,
and I think that's a great for me. The takeaway from that, if I'm a client, is hey, I may really feel comfortable about my situation with college. I've got it quote taken care of, but really I need to think a little bit more about it because I might run into some unexpected fees and expenses. Another way to say that is I might lose some money on this thing that I didn't expect because of unexpected fees.
Yeah.
And expenses associated with overfunding a 529.
And we want to help people avoid those kind of situations.
Yeah, so I think those are great comments regarding college education. Hey, if there's any questions or thoughts, if you disagree or want to hear more about something, again, get the emails out. You may already have them. If not, they're scrolling along the bottom of the screen. Shoot us an email and let us know what your thoughts or any other questions. We'll be happy to respond to you. Until next time.
Understand.